Мэдлэгээр чигүүрлээ. Mona English Bookstore. Сайн бацгаана уу саруул ухаанд монголчуудаа. За ингээд ээлжит дугаар маань эхлэхэд бэлэн болсон. Өнөөдөр нэгэн спешиал зочин орж байгаа. Энэ бол Монголын номер 1 үүрэн телефоны операторын гүйцэтгэх захирал. We are joined by Mongolia's #1 telecommunications operator, Mobicom and CEO, Mr. K.Kurушима.
Thank you.
Hello, thank
everybody.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Yes, a little bit nervous actually.
A little bit nervous now.
yes. Actually,
Yeah, we were fine before.
actually, it's my first opportunity to join one podcast. So,
Oh, is that right?
It's new experience for me.
Oh, really?
Yes.
But you have given other interviews before.
Oh, yes, TV interviews, those sort of.
Right.
But podcast is something.
Yeah, podcasts, you don't have to really worry about anything.
Okay.
It's very, free-spirited, free-flowing, so we can talk about whatever.
Sure.
So, yeah, so you've been here for 7 years? Was it?
Yes, almost 8 years actually. Yes, I
Yeah.
came to Mongolia in October 2017.
Uh-huh.
Then since then, I worked as a chief marketing officer. And then 3.5 years ago, I was appointed as CEO Mobicom. So since then, I've been working as Mobicom CEO. Yeah.
And, okay, you got to be honest here with me. How do you deal with Mongolia's winter?
No, okay. That's everybody asks me that question. But first thing is that I think, first of all, you get used to it year by year. Yeah?
Right.
So of course, first winter for me was a little bit tougher than I thought. I didn't know what to expect.
Right.
The only thing that people tell me is it's freezing.
Yeah.
and it's
is.
long. And it's long.
Yeah.
So if it's freezing, the best thing is to not go out of your room. Stay home, be safe.
That's right.
But as you know, we are from IT company, so a lot of internet, nice.
Do you get to remotely work yourself?
Oh, no. I always go to office.
Right.
Yes.
Even
because,
as a head of an IT company.
Yes, because still there are a lot of signing papers to do.
Right.
A lot of discussion. And of course, online discussion is one way to reduce time and make remote working possible. But I guess it's really nice to have a face-to-face communication.
Right.
Yeah, to know your colleagues, know your subordinates. Because sometimes it's really difficult to, especially catch their real expression or their mind behind what they're saying if it's
Right.
online.
I have gotten a chance to look at your CV, and it traces back all the way back to 2000 at KDDI,
Yes.
right? So I guess this is more of a question of comparison of what it's like to work in Mongolia versus in other places. Like you've been obviously in Japan and Bangladesh, things like that. So what's the uniqueness of the experiences of working here, especially being at such a high-ranking position?
I think working in Mongolia is honestly very exciting.
Yeah?
Things are sometimes uncertain. It's very flexible, agile, whatever you call
Everything
it.
is uncertain.
Yeah, so what we decided yesterday may change tomorrow.
Uh-huh.
But as people recognize, Japan seems to be more like a very disciplined country, more well-regulated, or everything is already set on the table. So people follow time, people follow rules. So not so much actually changes. But also in Japan, usually planning takes a lot of time to do anything. They make so much time making preparations, planning, but then once they decide, they just go as it is. So once the decision is made, maybe Japanese working is very fast to execute. On the other hand, Mongolia, okay, anyway, let's try. Let's do it. Why not? Yeah, we don't know. Then we try, then it doesn't work, then we need to improve. So I think starting things is very fast in Mongolia. So everybody tries, even I think not just our company, that a lot of nowadays, a lot of startup companies in town, which means that there are a lot of people who want to start new business, their own business, and they're pretty ambitious on things. So those are the really energetic working environment is what maybe gives me a little bit of excitement, because when a lot of people are energetic, you also get influenced by that, and you also think that our company also should be the same.
Right. So I want to reciprocate the question. So working in such a, I guess, rather not so strict environment, what's the biggest challenge working with Mongolians?
Okay. I think the biggest difficulty is that you need to really chase it once you decide something.
Right. You have to go after it.
Yeah. You need to check if it's progressing,
Right.
if it's almost ready to be done. Because okay, can I do this? Oh yeah, sure. Then when you just leave it as it is, sometimes your team will say that, oh yeah, see, I'm working on it. But then okay, that's fine that you're working on it. Then my question is that when it's gonna be done?
Yeah.
They say soon.
Yeah.
Yes, and then when soon? Yeah? So there's a little bit uncertainty on the reply. Also gives you sometimes a challenge. So in that case, if you seriously want things to get done, you need to actually a little bit chase even after you make
Right.
decision. Yeah? So that's maybe a challenging, but that's your job. Yeah, you need to ensure what you have decided is on. It's working.
No, like on the clock, there's 24 hours, and with Mongolians, it's like soon, before the afternoon, after the right.
Yeah,
I mean, so that would have to be the biggest challenge.
Sure. Yes.
And I wanna talk about the new initiative right away. And I've heard about it, and I was absolutely astounded that Mobicom, especially, that an IT company is taking matters into their own hands in terms of battling one of the most pressing health concerns in Mongolia. And let's talk about that.
Sure.
Yeah.
I think maybe before we talk more in details, basically, as everybody knows, Mobicom is like a mobile telephony company. We sell handset devices. We provide like network connectivity on voice and also data. But basically, IT's purpose is to connect people and connect things. So we try to expand coverage, and that's what we've been doing the last, I don't know, maybe 29 years, and we're still doing it. But sooner or later, once people get connected, what kind of value can a company provide on top of that network infrastructure is actually the biggest point. So that's why we actually, not now, but we already started some like services like what we call Woo, which is like OTT and video streaming services. Also, we provide
like
Monpay. Right? Yes, a Monpay. It's with fintech, a microloan, and super application, e-money services. So we're trying to a little bit approach some different areas apart from just connectivity to provide value to the customers. And what we call Mobile Life, which we started with cooperation with Connect Life, which is a subsidiary of Insure, is that why not? Yeah, let's use digital opportunity to provide life insurance and try to reach out to the customers and citizens of Mongolia.
За ингээд өнөөдрийн маань дугаарын спонсороор технологид суурилсан цахим зээлийн үйлчилгээний аппликейшн Гэрэл гэдэг гоё аппликейшнээс ажиллаж байгаа. Та одоо ингээд App Store болон Play Store-оос Гэрэл гэж хайх, эсвэл үзэж байгаа подкастын YouTube description хэсгээс татах линк дээр дараад Гэрэл зээлийн аппликейшн авсандаа суулгаарай гэж бас зөвлөмөр байна. Гэрэл гэж хайна шүү. Зээл авах хэрэгцээ гарахад та мэдээж өөрийн мэдээллүүдээ бөглөөд 24 цагийн хэдийдэн ч ердөө 3 минутын дотор одоо ямар нэгэн барьцаагүйгээр те цагаа хэмнээд одоо энэ зээлээ бол авах боломжтой. За мэдээж Гэрэл аппликейшны маань хэд хэдэн гоё давуу талууд бас байгаа гэдгийг хэлмээр байна. Зээлийн өөрийн хэрэгцээнд тохируулан хугацаагаа сонгож болно. Хидж хувааж авах боломжтой. Тэгээ өдөртөө авсан зээлээ бол эргээд одоо төлөвлөх хүүгүй өдөртөө авах юм бол тэгэхээр нөгөө хідэн ч цагт байж болно гэдэг маань тийм гоё давуу талыг бол бий болгож байгаа. За тэгээд мэдээж та хариуцлагатай харилцагч байх юм бол дараагийн удаа зээлээ нэмж авч болно гэсэн үг. За тэгээд мэдээж Улаанбаатар хот болон 21 аймгийн төвийн харилцагчид цахимаар гэрээгээ байгуулах боломжтой. Гэрэл зээлийн аппликейшн таны санхүүгийн гэрэл.
So, in essence, if you're a Mobicom user, then when you're diagnosed with cancer, then you would get the initial coverage.
Nice. Somewhat
how does
similar.
that
Yes,
work?
of course, we cannot provide to everybody at this moment. So we right now we're going to provide this kind of what we call like a bundled cancer life insurance package on top of our product called Hybrid and MyMobi, which is like a post-payment packages of Mobicom. Then, as you say, that if the customer gets diagnosed with cancer, then we give a certain amount of premium based on their subscription package of our services.
So the user can choose which
Yeah, so it depends on which package that they use for the Mobicom mobile product, and then we put this cancer protection on top of it.
Wow.
And of course, this is just the beginning, and we also are planning to consider that customers can also pay extra to get more coverage. And life insurance is also not just about cancer, so we're also discussing with our partner that what kind of next products that can help our customer base to be more protected on their future health and also these kind of life.
You know, this you probably have addressed this concern at the board meeting, or cancer's treatment is very expensive. So in the grand scheme of things, how sustainable do you think this is in terms of business model?
I think basically what's important is, of course, we are doing business, so of course we need to make it sustainable.
Right.
But the main part is that how we, as I touched on the previous conversation, that how we protect customers' life as much as possible. Of course, this cancer protection does not cover everything from A to Z.
Right.
When customers get diagnosed with cancer, because as you also mentioned that diagnosis, also treatment, all these things actually is very expensive. But if they don't have any coverage at all, once somebody gets diagnosis with cancer, they just start panicking because maybe they're financially not ready yet. But at least if you can cover some part of the initial fee, then also the patient, as well as the families and relatives, can also start preparing to financially prepare for the upcoming treatment. So I think that our first target is how we can protect their initial stage, so that people can get ready. Because in Mongolia, I think people are really actually very busy with today.
Right.
Of course, everybody wants to have a secure and safe life, but because everybody's so busy handling today and maybe just tomorrow, do they have time to think about future? Maybe not so many people yet. So in that case, if we can do something to try to offer something that can be potential protection for future. Of course, if they don't get diagnosed with cancer, that's the best thing.
Right.
Yes, because we want everybody to be healthy and live long, but we don't know, because this is about our body and it's about health. So as I said, if we can just give some potential protection opportunity, maybe it'll help people.
Right. I want to ask, what inspired Mobicom to step into this very human, and very social challenge?
I think there's several angles actually. So of course, from my personal perspective, I'm from a market of Japan.
Right.
Japan, actually, a lot of Japanese people are already subscribing to these kind of insurance policies like life insurance, not even general insurance, because we think that even after we retire, for example, after 60, we have a long ways to go till we finish our life. In that sense, how you prepare for the future after retirement.
For Japanese
for
people,
Japanese perspective. Yeah. So then now Mongolia also GDP is increasing. People's lifespan is getting gradually longer, which means that sooner or later, of course, Mongolia will come into the same environment. And what we found out was this, especially this life insurance market is still very in early stages. That it means that it has a potential to grow. Right. And also, it's not growing because either I don't say there's no demand, but there's maybe a lot of other things that is in the scope. And I think our guys also felt that we also have a lot of employees, and sometimes, unfortunately, some of our colleagues get diagnosed with cancer, and we see that they need to go to treatment to, for example, even not inside Mongolia, but even to Korea, Japan, and there also treatment fee is very expensive. And then what we did today is that, okay, let's do some voluntary donation to financially support. Means that we also saw our colleagues struggle once they get diagnosed with cancer, which means that if we give that opportunity, maybe there is a we can make a vibe that people will be more cautious about how to protect themselves from upcoming future potential risks.
So, this, I guess, the connection between the company and its users probably become very intimate. How do you see the impact that it's going to have on Mongolian families beyond just the financial aspect?
I think biggest part is that as I touched on, our basic fundamentals, we provide connectivity.
Right.
We connect people to people. We connect business to consumers as well. So right this time we really focused on this financial aspect of life insurance. But even life insurance, when you need to subscribe, you need to submit a lot of probably paperworks. You need to show a lot of certification. You need to show a lot of documents to even apply for one insurance policy.
Right.
But if you do it digital, maybe we can also reach out to locations where maybe there's no presence of insurance companies today, which means that maybe they just don't know because there's nobody in their local market. But because we are a digital company, we can provide the opportunity to reach out to those maybe underserved areas, which may even give them the, first of all, understanding that, maybe they should think about financial possibilities.
Is it like, because exactly, especially the underserved areas, Mongolians in general, we're still adjusting to the digital era, right? So is it like pretty easy to kind of be involved? Like, is it just with the press of a button? Do you download an app? How does...
Basically, we already have an application called Mobicom application.
Oh, okay.
And we're planning to use that platform and then connect to the insurance company's network so that the customers can actually apply through online. So it's not that we're going to make a totally new application, because once you make a new application again, you need to ask the customers to download it, also get used to that interface, which is a little bit not easy. So also our first package is a little bit bundle product to our existing mobile packages. So then we are going to use our own platform to first of all make the gateway.
It's got to be user friendly, right?
I hope it has to be, and I hope it is good
right,
enough.
Right,
Yeah.
I'm probably going to ask this a lot in terms of just the rural area and the urban area. Do you think it's going to address the health gap, I guess, in Mongolia, especially in the rural areas?
Maybe it will happen, because I think still, as you also touched it, cancer, especially cancer, is a big problem in this country.
Right.
And what I heard is one of the top three, cases where people actually pass away, which is very unfortunate. And of course, some part cancer can not be protected because sometimes it comes naturally, but there are actually other causes that actually can be prevented if people's daily lifestyle is being more careful, which means that gradually by enhancing this insurance product, we also hope that it will also help to the customers get educated or more well understand about how they should take care of their life, because at the end, we want everybody to live actually forever.
Right. Yeah. So speaking of rural areas, how is your company preparing for a transition to 5G? Because, we don't even have, there's concerns that Mobicom doesn't have services and we don't even have 3G or 4G, right? So how do you address that concern? And how do you prepare for the next future tech advancement?
Sure. Basically, current situation is that either 3G or 4G, which means internet connectivity, is available in all 330 to 333 SUMs in the country.
Right.
Of course, it's not covering all the bugs yet.
You're right.
And I think each company, not just us, but also our competitors, is also trying to expand coverage to reach out to those areas. So this will most likely still continue for a while, because also the government has an attention to try to reach out, because they are targeting to this digital nation as a Mongolia. On the other hand, if you talk about 5G actually just launched this May, and currently where is the coverage is that basically it's in UB, and it's in very limited areas, but it's in all IMEX centers.
Yeah.
Yes.
We have it in some.
Yes. Sometimes you see the 5G icon. Yes. So, we hope that we can continue to expand 5G. But of course, it requires investment.
Does it have financial challenges?
Of course. Yes. Always that our mobile operators' investment comes first. We need to invest first. We need to create the network, and we need to encourage our customers to use, and then the customers use, and customers pay money, and then we get the return of the investment. So how much of the desire of 5G actually comes out in this rural area is still a little bit questionable. Of course, everybody has an interest, it provides faster speed. Then what else? So also, I think right now the mobile operators are a little bit still exploring how to showcase 5G apart from just the faster internet.
Right, better quality.
Better quality, and then of course faster internet sounds nice, but of course then it uses up customers' data package. The balance becomes lower, then customers may struggle that, because of the fast speed, I'm not purchasing enough data volume for example, my monthly usage. Then in that case, they need to subscribe to a higher package, which is also again extra cost. So this part is just we need how to balance that. We make customers happy, but we don't make them financially burdened because of this data usage.
Right. За подкастын маань хамтран ажиллагчаар Ekos цэвэр ус маань бол ажиллаж байгаа. За тэгээд хүн ер нь одоо хоол ундандаа бол 80% шүлтлэг, 20% хүчлэлэг ийм хоол унд хэрглэж ингэж балансыг бол барьдаг юм байна. За тэгээд Ekos цэвэр ус маань бол ийм олон давхар мембран шүүлтүүрээр шүүгдэж, тийм ээ. Одоо хүний биед нэн шаардлагатай байгалийн хужраар ирсжүүлсэн савладаг ийм pH 8.5 гэдэг одоо зөөлөн шүлтлэг ус байдаг. За тэгээд Монгол хүний хооллолтын онцлог дээр бас тулгуурлан бүтээгдсэн гэдгээр их онцлог юм байна. Тэгээд хамтарч ажиллаж байгаа Ekosтой бас талархал илэрхийлье.
pH 8.5-тай шүлтлэг зөөлөн ус. Ekos. Энэ таны эрүүл сонголт.
I mean, I kind of knew, but you guys have 1.7 million users. That is crazy.
Thank you.
Considering the population, 1.7 million users. So you're obviously in charge of a company that has 1.7 million users. What's the most difficult decision that you had to make?
I think the most difficult decision is that, how should I say, what's the best choice for this market? Yeah?
Right.
Even if you say, for example, say 1.7 or even 1.5 million, the size may look big, but then there's a lot of different types of customers behind this.
Right.
Yes, some geographically, okay, maybe they live in UB, maybe they live in Bugs. Occupation-wise, maybe they're a business person, they own their own business, or maybe they're herders. And of course, their IT demand, their financial capability, everything is totally different. So we cannot just provide like only for this customer and that customer. We need to somehow try to fulfill the desire to satisfy all the customers as much as possible. So how we try to design that through our business products, business services, and also the activity is actually the biggest challenge, because there's no one single answer that's, okay, you create something, you create this water and then it fulfills everybody's demand. That doesn't happen in IT.
All right. So look, Mobicom has been a household name, like ever since I was a kid.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. So what does it mean to you that, in this hyper digital, hyper competitive era, that you stay on top and that you keep that you keep wanting to stay on top? How do you, because a lot of companies, they lose their lead in the market shares. So what's the secret behind it?
I think the biggest issue that we need to tackle is that how we keep customers excited.
Right.
Customers get bored once they only see the same thing for example, in the last 5-10 years. Of course, connectivity itself is there for the last 29 years, 2G, 3G, 4G. But then still inside the network, we try to upgrade packages. We try to change the way to offer to customers. So how to try to always keep on changing or innovating or creating without stopping is, I think, the most important thing.
Right, that you don't stay complacent.
We just don't stay relaxed and comfortable where we are.
Right.
And that's actually very difficult, because when they're still challenger, they know that they need to very strongly challenge to catch the top leader. But once you become maybe number one or even number two in the market, and you see that, we are the bigger players in the market, a lot of people actually just jump on that success story and then they just feel relaxed.
Right.
So how to keep those of course, we don't deny the past success or the whatever we did, but how we reflect that into the future value is more important, and how we try to encourage our employees to keep on thinking and keep on wondering, what should we do next? Is I think the most difficult part.
You know, as a CEO, how much time do you spend on thinking about your competitors, worrying about what they're doing? Or I don't want to say worry, but
I think about it. Yes. I want to say 24/7, but that's not true. So I don't know. I will not lie,
but a lot.
But I think so, because I think there's two ways to think about companies this direction. Yeah? One is that, of course, what you want to do. If there's, for example, no competition. But on the other hand, because this is not a big market and there's a little bit tough competition, you always need to pay attention to what the competitors are doing, or maybe what they will do next if I were them. So you need to a little bit do this kind of scenario thinking. And sometimes this scenario thinking is actually more beneficial when you're, for example, in the bathtub or washroom, when you're a little bit free from everything.
Right.
So, of course, not just at work, I sometimes think about it. And especially when the situation is not that going well for you, you think much even deeper than other times. Right. But I think maybe 30 to 40% of my time is to think about what's next and what's our competitors.
Like, there are companies like Onda, right? And like, I don't know the specifics because I'm not a professional in the field, but do you ever worry about just state-of-the-art, brand new technology just taking over and, wiping away the company at all?
Sometimes I do, but generally not significantly, honestly, because we are also a technology company. We are also paying attention to what's the latest technology, what's happening outside of this country, what's happening in the globe. And we try to also accommodate that kind of technology into our business operation as well. So it's not that something that suddenly somebody comes over and takes over everything. Right. Is what I think doesn't really happen in this kind of market.
Well, because the reason that I asked that is, I think around 2006, the Nokia had the highest market share for all the phones. And then 2007, iPhone was launched. And Nokia at the time was very complacent, very prideful, right? Proud of themselves. And then, before that, I think they were sold to Microsoft, was it?
Yes.
The CEO at the time said, the biggest mistake we did was that we did nothing to adjust.
Yes.
I mean, do you see any comparisons there?
Yes, I think that's true, because so suddenly iPhone launched this Flick type of smartphone, which was before
that was a brand new thing.
It was a brand new thing. Then people recognize that's a very attractive feature.
Right.
But I think a lot of the existing successful company thought that, anyways, it's just a one-time boom, and then it's going to disappear soon.
Right.
Then it's going to be very difficult to use for private usage. It's going to be very difficult to anyways use in business. So then that's same. Not just Nokia, but also there's a product called BlackBerry, which used to be like a smartphone with keyboards.
And then the wealthy
business person used to hold it. So I thought that they didn't really recognize the impact of this new technology, or they undervalued that technology. So they didn't, as you said, they didn't take care.
Right.
Then when they realized it was too late. Yeah, everybody already shifted to the Apple side, and now you look at other brands, even Samsung, Huawei, Honor, Xiaomi, everything. Everybody's using the same technology. So that became the de facto standard. So in our case, of course, if our competitors implement some new technology to the business operation or services, I think what we are doing now is that we pay attention to it.
Right.
So we see what they're doing. Then we see that we try to evaluate its impact, and then if it's potentially some risk, of course we need to take care. So I think it's important is that you don't underestimate your competitors.
Right.
Especially newcomers. So that's why, as I said, that the previous question is it going to significantly change when the newcomer comes as a mobile operator? Not immediately, but of course it's not that we don't underestimate them, and we always pay attention to what they're doing, and we try to be able to compete regardless of what happens in the market.
So speaking of AI, I've heard that Mobicom is, I guess, shifting from telecommunication to a technology company. So I'm asking this as asking you as a tech CEO, right? So how do you see the future with AI? Do you think that it becomes more of a partner to humans, or would it be more of a replacement in the workplace? And just AI in general.
I think honestly it can be both.
Really?
Yes. One is that if today somebody's doing a very manual work, for example, collecting information from different sources, compiling that information, putting it into shape, and then maybe putting it into some presentation file, that can be actually replaced by AI. So that part, in that sense, yes, AI can replace what people are doing today. But what's next is that then that person will have more time because they don't need to do this manual work, spending so much time doing it. So they can use that time to create some different value, or they can think more rather than doing this operational stuff. So that's the part I think that first of all it actually can replace, but also it can support people's value creation. Second is that human actually makes mistakes. Unfortunately, we are not perfect. We're not computers. So even I don't know. Even a lot of people, they say they're genius, but they make mistakes. So actually, what AI potentially can do is that eliminate human errors, which means that more sustainability and also quality improvement of services can be executed. So I think these are like some examples, and also sometimes human cannot see everything because we have limited time, and then we can, for example, we can only analyze based on the time that is provided. But if it's a machine can analyze 24 by 7 much faster speed, and then maybe they can even come up with insight that human cannot see. So it can also support the human thinking that maybe it gives you some insight that you didn't see.
So how have you guys been utilizing AI so far? So far,
yes. So we're doing for different areas. One is that we have what we call leasing and also loans as one of our business line, which is handset leasing. Customers can purchase smartphones.
Oh, you guys have the non-banking financial institution, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
So this handset part is provided by Mobicom. It's like an installment payment. And we need to, because of course we're not a charity company, we need to sometimes assess if the customers will pay or not, has or risk to not pay. In that case, we use AI to model the customers, which is like a scoring model. And then we use a similar concept to our monthly loan as well, because we don't take collaterals for our loan business. So it's a short-term loan. So we also want to do it quick, so we don't ask for customers to submit so many documents. We just make one single contract, and then after that we actually score the customers, and based on that we give different loan opportunities.
Is the system connected to the central bank?
Yes, system is connected to the central bank, but this AI part is just the internal part. Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Another part is that lately, actually, what we introduced is that we have a call center, because sometimes customers want to give us some advice, customer wants to give us some complaint, or customer wants to know about something.
Right.
So, of course, complaint we need human beings to handle, because we need to listen to customers very carefully and also to solve the issue. But sometimes the inquiries can be done by AI as well.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So what we do is that we try to change some of the phone call lines from human to machine. Then customers can just connect that. Then they don't need to wait. So if it's human, if the call's full, then they cannot call. They need to wait. But if it's machine, then machine can run much faster. And then we're trying to give responses to customers using AI. So these are things that we are trying to put into our internal operation and also to the service to the customers to make our business operation more efficient.
What defining technology do you believe will define the next decade?
I think first of all, anyways, I think it's still AI at this moment. So
anything in particular?
People say generative AI will change the world.
Right.
Yes. So that's like ChatGPT, not just ChatGPT. ChatGPT currently more used for like effective search engine, but generative AI creates content, creates things, which means that
photo, video,
yes.
right.
productivity in different areas going to, in that case, increase hugely, which is more things is going to be generated in the internet world. That can change the thing because, especially in some countries, population is becoming a little bit declining mode, which means that with unless using this AI, they cannot sustain their economy. Meanwhile, the country who is actually increasing the population may be able to produce even more, so that their economy will development will accelerate.
I think we should probably see the positives in any technological development, right? I would like to compare AI to a sewing machine, for example. Obviously, it's making our productivity more efficient. But at the same time, when AI developed, like for example, with sewing machines, now hand-sewn products are more expensive, right? So the authentic, genuine, human-made stuff will have to be more valuable in the future in the era of AI, right?
That kind of market can be, I think, created because AI will make things easy, but then maybe there will be not so much uniqueness. And I think what you're talking about is the hand sewing versus this machine sewing. The machine sewing can create more quantity with same design patterns and so on, but does it have that unique, as you say, authentic part that it's the only one available? So some people actually sometimes want the only one.
Right.
In that sense, maybe AI cannot generate that, and then human beings creating product will become much more valuable than today.
Right. Do you hear criticisms that Mobicom prices are too high?
Oh yeah, every day actually. Yes.
How do you justify the pricing, and is there room for reduction?
Of course, we always try to explore the possibility to decrease as much as possible. But one honestly disadvantage that we're facing today is that most of our devices and equipments are produced not domestically but from overseas, which means that we need to import these devices, which is purchased in foreign currency. And Mongolian currency, looking at the last 8 years since I was here, is a little bit in depreciation mode, which creates difficulty. You buy one thing in $100. At that time, maybe it was 2,000 or 220,000 tuguruks. But now it's like 5 times or something. So in that case, this kind of part that we need to really assess how we can reduce the cost to try to provide more affordability to the customer. So of course we are trying day by day, and I hope that we're doing not bad. Of course, I don't say perfect because we still get words from customers that Mobicom is expensive. On the other hand, when we compare with our competitors, it's not that actually different is what we think. But maybe somehow we're not being able to deliver the message to the customers accurately enough that the customers may still perceiving that Mobicom is expensive. But overall, if you look at the connectivity price, Mongolia's, for example, 1 gigabyte cost is around top 10 or top 20 cheapest in the whole world. So I think that we are not doing that bad. Maybe what I want to just say today.
Do you personally review customer feedbacks?
Oh yeah, not directly, but I get some summary from my team about some critical complaints. And of course, we do a lot of activities exposing to the public. Then we put it on social media, and of course, social media is free to make comments, and then a lot of comment comes back, and then a lot of happy faces and angry faces emoji also shows up, and then from there, I try to a little bit sense that what's going on.
Right,
yes.
Right. I think a lot of people, there's criticism that people obviously don't like change. They don't like to change the numbers or the services, and that Mobicom is taking advantage of the lack of desire to change. Do you think that's a valid criticism, or?
If the customer is saying so, of course, there may be something that maybe there's an understanding gap or the expectation gap between the customer side and also our side, which is the provider side. So we need to think about then why the customer is thinking like that. Of course, we believe that we are trying to somehow fulfill the customer's demand as much as possible. But as I said, that one product cannot fulfill everybody's desire, so maybe we are not being able to actually touch on some of the areas that we need to really focus on. So this is still like exploration that we need to keep on searching and thinking and seeing if there's some solution that we can provide.
Right.
Because I believe that as long as we don't stop thinking, we may be able to come up with answers.
Манай подкастын хамтран ажиллагчаар бүх төрлийн үйлчлэгээ үзүүлдэг. Аялал бол амьдрал юм. Ураатай iTrip Travel Agency. За ингээд та бүхэн маань бас маш олон төрлийн үйлчлэгээг iTrip-ээс болоод мэдээж авч болно. Бүр ингээд дэлхийн 190 орны нислэгийн тийзийг eSIM-тэй за тэгээд мэдээж даатгалтай гих мэтчлэн таксины үйлчлэгээ зэрэг энэ бүх зүйлийг энэ нэг Orange Denote аппликейшн байгаа. Энэгээр татаад аваарай гэж бас уриалмаар байна. За тэгээд ер нь бол амьдрал бол баялаг, амьдрал бол аялал гэж ярьдаг. Аялал бол амьдрал юм аа. Үнэхээр жинхэнэ баялагийг бид нэр дурсамж бүтээж хамгийн дотны хүмүүстэйгээ хамгийн гоё газруудаар аялж иж ер нь бүтээдэг. Тэр утгаараа ч гэсэн iTrip маань хамт олон та бүхэндээ энэ болгоныг бас цогцоор санал болгож байгаа. Тэгээд iTrip-тэй хамт аялаарай.
Нисхийн хийц багцаалал зочин модуль Airport taxi, аялын даатгсан, аялын даатгал, бүгдийг нэг дороос. iTrip.
So, one of the biggest concerns that people may have might be data. And it's probably more valuable than oil, or whoever has the most data has the most amount of wealth, right? How do you ensure that your data isn't being misused or sold? Because it was the same concern with Facebook and Twitter, every tech company, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So what we can say is that we have a proper data protection internal rule that people do not misuse the information for unnecessary purposes. Two is that by system we need to protect the data so it doesn't get leaked out or it doesn't get hacked. So we do system protection.
You guys have a good cybersecurity team?
I hope so. I believe so. I believe so. But I think what we can say is that we are protecting customers' data at our best. And as I say, system protection cannot solve everything, because quite interesting is one of the global operator chief security officer said in one event, said that actually 80% of data misuses comes from human. So in that case, how to educate your employees to not misuse the information? Because unfortunately, we cannot block 100% access, because sometimes for business operation, it needs to be used. For example, customers complain, then customers talks about some issue, and we need to know that customer, and we need to talk with the customer so that customers will say that, oh, you understand my situation. In that case, sometimes we need to a little bit look into their profile, so on, to understand who they are. But basically, we try to avoid disclosing information to non-necessary business units or technology unit. But as I say, it cannot be zero. So in that case, how much we also educate our employees to have a proper discipline and behavior to not misuse data is also important.
So in other aspects, do you guys join forces with banks and maybe the police in combating scams and things like that? Because
yes.
It goes through your some frauds and scams, right?
Yes, of course. When there's a problem, we get calls from sometimes policemen, also sometimes banks, and then lately there was several bank scams that through SMS, and then once we get the information, of course, if it seems to be a fraudulent, for example, SMS, then we block that number. We do these kind of things to protect the customers, because at the end, the customers are the people who will suffer from these kind of activities. Right. So we do cooperation based on the information that we receive to be improved. Yes, that's what we do.
Right.
And of course, the regulatory body on the financial side, Bank of Mongolia, FRC, has their own strict rules and regulation. And as one of the non-bank financial institute, we also follow their requirement to maintain security of data.
internet access is obviously tied to education and opportunity. And I want to talk about the initiative that you guys have taken in this field, especially during COVID, right? Was it smart education?
Oh, yes. Thank you for touching that. Yeah. So, yes. Actually, Mobicom has been doing these kind of what people call corporate social responsibility for the last maybe around 15 years. We started around 2011 with like a lunch program. Then we did some.
Yeah, you guys invented the lunch program, is that right?
According to my information, yes. I hope so.
Wow, yeah. I appreciate that on behalf of everybody in Mongolia.
Thank you. Then after that, we created what we call child abuse helpline called 108.
Oh wait, was that you guys?
Yes. Then we initiated with the government, and now government's running that number.
Oh wow.
Then after that, we cooperated with UNICEF, and then we started WASH project, which is providing sanitary toilet to remote
areas.
Remote areas, yes. Then government also announced that they'll take over the project, so it's fine. Then we started thinking, what should we do next? So before that was more like touching on children's hygiene and healthy development of their body. But then again, we are but we are an IT company. We should use more IT to provide value to the society. Then at that time, COVID outbreak broke out, and then we found out that kids cannot go to school. But
don't have access.
Online classes are there, but they don't have access. There are too many children, not enough devices. But in education is very important for the future of this country. Then we decided, okay, let's do educational activity using IT. That's where we started this smart education. So first 2 years, actually, we handed out devices directly to children, like smartphones.
How many? Around
3,000 or 4,000 we did for 2 years. But then we found out that smartphone is individual product.
Right. Yes. You need the
yes, and but we wanted to make it more sustainable.
Right.
Then we shifted from last 2 years to digital classroom instead of giving out devices to children. Because also a good thing was that COVID was now a little bit calmed down, and then children started to go to school again, which means that classroom will reach out to more children and giving out devices. So that's why we started smart education. Then maybe going back to that financial scam using IT, technology enables accessibility.
Right.
But accessibility means unnecessary information also come in.
Right.
Because you
need to filter them out.
Yes. Yeah. So you need to be able to filter, and you need to use this opportunity properly. Then we started what we call smart usage, which is like a educational program to children to understand what are the dangers and also the risks of using this internet, so that they don't fall into those kind of traps. So this also just started a couple of years ago. So we're still working on few items only. One is that cyberbullying, because internet makes people anonymous.
Right. How do you deal with that?
Well, you just need to tell that what are the risks and consequences of you cyberbullying, and what are the cases that may come to you on cyberbullying. So you need to pay attention. You need to be careful. So those are things that one by one we're trying to a little bit find out what are the elements that maybe the schools cannot teach. Then we are an IT company. We should be professional in this field, and we need to know the good side and bad side. And if we identify the bad side and we give proper education, kids will grow up more healthy.
This is a question asking you as an individual, not as a CEO. You deal with, 1,700 people?
Roughly,
right?
Yes.
Right. So what advice would you give to the aspiring young Mongolians in general?
I think what I want to maybe just share is that maybe because my background is that I was born in Japan. I'm a pure Japanese, but then I grew up in North America for a couple of years.
Where?
Yeah, I used to live in Canada when I was in elementary school, from maybe 6 years.
Where in Canada?
Vancouver.
Oh, okay. I graduated high school in Calgary.
Oh, really? Oh, that's nice. I was there only for elementary and maybe up to grade 8, so it was only 6.5 years. Then, as you also touched in the beginning, that I used to work in Bangladesh for a couple of years, and then now I work in Mongolia. Then I had been given an opportunity to look at a lot of different environments and markets. So, of course, not everybody can go overseas when they're young, or even then when they start working. But one important thing is that always look into new areas. So have curiosity. Yeah? I think curiosity makes people drive to study, to learn, to experience.
Right.
Then that experience becomes your asset because people. My philosophy is that people can only think what they know or what they experience. All their ideas and their thinking always comes from what they have done in the past, or what they know from books or internet or whatever it is. So more learning, more information, more experience enables people to think better.
That you never stop learning.
So that's why I think that's why I think people watch podcasts, people watch TEDx,
right?
Because people can get information from outside, and especially maybe in Mongolia, books availability is not as rich compared to maybe US, Japan, or Korea,
Right,
China,
'cause
because
the
of
language
course, language and also the population means that. But as I say, internet has access to worldwide content, and listening to podcasts, hearing what the professional people, other people are saying, may get you inspired. Of course, sometimes it may be boring, but then still, that's also experience.
Right.
Hearing and knowing, learning is unlimited, I think. So when you're young, you're more flexible and you're open to absorb. Once you get older, your head a little bit gets stiff, and then it's very difficult to start learning. So my recommendation, especially youth, if you say general, is that don't stop learning.
Right.
Yes.
How do you assess Mongolian people's attitude in general? And we can, it doesn't have to be black and white. You could talk about freely.
General, I think, very, how should I say, maybe because I'm Japanese, I'm very comfortable living here. People are really nice, honestly.
Is that right?
Yes. Of course, one biggest problem is I'm not super good at the language, so that's why sometimes I don't understand what they're saying. But overall, people are nice, and especially once you become friends and know each other, people help each other a lot. Is what I think. And of course, sometimes because of the community is very small, people seems to be a little bit too close in a sense. But if you maintain the proper distance, and of course, when you need to be close, you go close. And if you want to be a little bit far away, you can go far away. If you adjust those things, I think generally, most of the people are very nice people.
Right. Very.
As I say, but sometimes it's very quick decision, but sometimes people don't commit to schedule.
Oh, yeah. And we're not punctual, not on time.
Yes. So this is maybe, because I'm Japanese, I think that part too much, because Japan is all about punctuality and doing things on time. So that's like the general value of Japanese people. So if you look into that perspective and compare, maybe Mongolian people are a little bit more relaxed or flexible.
Is that something that we could improve on and would help with the development of the country?
I think so, because there's too many things to do, undone things, even in business, in anything, your life as well. Then if you don't get one done, you cannot do the next one. So finishing doing things as planned or on time helps you to go to the next stage according to the plan. So doing things on time, being punctual, I think is very important from my perspective. And then I believe that will also help the Mongolian economy to grow much even faster than today.
All right. So speaking of young people, what role do you think Mobicom is playing in empowering the youth and aspiring entrepreneurs?
So again, our main core business is still connectivity, and we want to use technology on top of it to create value. So as you touched on our SDG activity, smart education, one part is to use IT to give more qualified education so that the children get more inspired to learn and they get more interested, and they can even eliminate the distance that not only in UB you can get good education, even you're in the remotest sumo of this country, maybe you can get a good education, and there can be some successful person coming from those areas, even more than today. So I think that's what we are trying to do. Then another thing is that, of course, we have presence in different IMEC centers as our Mobicom branches, and we try to use our staffs to get touch with the community more. So that's why we do this smart usage program that I introduced a little bit before that. We try to use our employees to share information, to introduce about the technology to the local society.
So looking back, I guess, I mean, even as a marketing chief officer, it's over the past 7-8 years, what do you think was your boldest decision as a leader?
That's a good question. Yes. I think the biggest thing that we actually kept on pushing was that for us, in order to be sustainable and also for us to continuously try to provide value to the community, we need to have, of course, sustainable business foundation. So we try to introduce a postpaid package, which is called MyMobi. But when I came, because we had a separate team for prepaid market, we had a separate team for postpaid market. Actually, the product consistency was like not clear. So I tried to sort out these kind of little bit messy parts. So then again, that also helps the customers understand what's the value of each product. Two is that also helps our internal side that what we need to focus, because if we focus on too many different things, we cannot pay attention to the most important things that we need to approach. So these are things that I think that I changed the most. And then maybe the last part was that as you touched on this corporate social responsibility. Corporate social responsibility was more talking about like donation.
Right.
Or you're a large company, you should contribute to society. It's your responsibility to give back to society because you're rich or something. But that's actually not true. So economy actually is created by everybody.
Right.
And maybe timing was also good that United Nations created what they call Sustainable Development Growth goals, 17 goals. And then we shifted from corporate social responsibility to sustainable economy contribution activities, which is smart education. So because this also helps us to think that, yes, we are also part of the society development. And it makes our people also proud that they are also, their action is contributing to society. Not just that we are the sellers and we are the providers. We are also part of society. Is, I think, what, if I look back now in a couple minutes and then I think that what did I do? That's maybe the two big things that I can say that maybe it was good action that's still working today.
You know, Mobicom, I guess all the telecommunication companies, their thing is that it's about connecting people, right? But do you think maybe the advancements in technology are isolating people rather than connecting them?
Partially, I think yes. Because they can access to anything nowadays. Means that you don't need to depend on other people to get what you want. Means that you can even do maybe everything at home, from home. Maybe you don't even need to go to office. Nowadays, a lot of companies interested in remote working. So you don't need to talk with people to do something nowadays.
Right.
In some areas, that actually, as you say, isolates people. So it's, I think, both sides. One is that it connects people who you could not reach in the past. But on the other hand, you don't need to depend on other people to do what you want to do, which means that it makes you lonely and isolated.
You know, a lot of tech companies deal with ethical dilemmas, right? In your industry, did you ever have to deal with those things, especially involving AI?
Currently, not really, I think. Yes, because before we introduce some new technology, we assess the pros and cons carefully as much as possible. Then we know that what kind of drawback or what kind of backfire it can impose to our operation or maybe our business. Then we a little bit carefully pay attention to those negative impact as well. So in that perspective, I think we've been taking pretty good care of potential risks of this ethical part coming from technology development.
Like, in general, what do you think will be the biggest ethical dilemma in any technology, not just your industry?
I think the biggest part is that technology helps to convert human to machine.
Right.
Yes. So when you're doing something, you take responsibility and accountability for what you did generally.
Right.
But when somebody else does it, like machine, then
Nobody
takes responsibility. Nobody takes care. Yeah? So, and maybe you also touch on that. People won't basically look at the positive aspect only first. Yeah? It's a shiny part is very attractive,
Right.
and they don't see the dark side. So, I think one is that people take less accountability for the outcome.
Right.
If too much technology is implemented without carefully seeing the potential consequences.
Like Yuval Noah Harari, I think, said it perfectly, that in the future, AI is the first technology that will be able to make decisions autonomously, meaning without our signature.
Yes.
So how do you, again, hold AI accountable, for example, bombing a certain town in the Middle East for the better good, right? Or self-driving cars. How do you, hold them accountable for maybe running over somebody or maintaining their safety? Those kinds of, maybe genetic engineering as well, creating superhumans, things like that, right?
Yes. So for the first one, can we predict this potential like war risk type of stuff?
Right.
I think that will depend on, because that's like prediction modeling, means that there needs to be like a historical data that gives you the insight that this may happen.
Right.
Yeah? So if there's a proper enough information logs that can identify that what kind of parameters can influence people to think about bombing somewhere, then maybe it can be predicted. But that's maybe less likely, honestly.
Right.
Yes. But other parts that is that, I should say that, like, for example, cars overrunning a person if it's auto drive. That's all thing same about that. Right now, somebody wants to make auto driving because of something, to reduce some pain point.
Right.
Then auto driving makes it easier, maybe safer.
Right.
But then that's the good side of that technology.
Right.
But then, of course, if it goes automatic, what are the risks that it doesn't detect, for example, child, then how can it stop on time? Those are like probably the negative aspects of that technology. And can we think about those scenarios beforehand? Then if yes, I think it will
Right,
mitigate.
that's very
Yeah,
important,
yes.
right? Speaking of challenges that comes with technology, how does your company think about environmental sustainability, especially given Mongolia's energy challenges, constraints, right?
I think for our industry, first of all, biggest thing is that how we reduce electricity consumption.
Right.
Yes.
Because probably a bunch of servers,
technology equipment consumes a lot of energy.
Yes.
So one is that, of course, we need to think that how we can reduce the number of equipments to reduce the consumption. On top of that, of course, the manufacturing side, the vendor side also is thinking how to create eco-friendly devices. So this combination I hope that will gradually reduce the energy consumption, which means that it saves resources. The other part is that we try to support the green is nature.
Right.
So sometimes we plant trees by ourselves. Of course, the government is also initiating their 1 billion tree project. So we also are thinking what we can do. But I think the first one is that how we reduce electricity consumption, how we reduce CO2 emission. Because CO2 emission will make global warming, and in Mongolia also
out in the air.
In the air there's always CO2. And coincidentally, the last winter, 7th winter I experienced in Mongolia, it didn't go minus 14 UV. So I was thinking, oh my God, it's maybe global warming is coming.
Right. it's real.
Yes. So those are things that we are a little bit trying to tackle. Yeah? And currently, of course, when our base station network goes out, of course, we need to send engineers to fix it. But if, for example, technology can auto-fix network problems, maybe we don't need to dispatch, which means that car fuel consumption can also decrease. So there's, I think, a lot of different ways, but mainly about this energy consumption and also CO2 emission is the first key element that I think our company and also our competitor is trying to tackle at this moment.
I mean, this is a question directed towards any leaders in any market. So how do you ensure fair competition rather than just using your size and power to stay on top?
I think important thing is that, of course, everybody wants to be winner.
Right.
Yes. And there's few ways to become winner, I think. Yeah? One is that you have the only so unique value that nobody else has. So you're the only one. Two is that, as you say, you abuse the power. So you try to eliminate the smaller companies using some whatever power you have.
Right. Maybe buy them.
Buy them or kick them out from market, whatever what it is. And then another thing is that how to think that you cannot win everything. Yeah? Because I think people should have choice, to some extent.
Right.
So means that fair competition means that people are being able to run their business on what they are expecting. So as I say, that's why we also check what our competitors are doing. If they're doing something aggressive, of course, we may need to react, because that can also disrupt our customer situation. But we don't say that whatever they do, we copy, for example.
Yeah, I mean, I want to ask about, what makes it unique, right? Do you guys, like, in terms of corporation culture, do you guys have Japanese influence there? How does that work, culture-wise?
Culture-wise, I think one part is that because maybe we have a Japanese shareholder and there are several Japanese expats. Japanese basic way of thinking is that there's nothing called perfect. It's always about that. What can you improve? What can you do better? And then it keeps on moving forward. So this kind of mindset, I hope that I'm trying to somehow implement to Mobicom as well. Because maybe Mobicom can be one of the larger companies in this market, but is Mobicom a large company in global? Not really. And the answer is actually no.
Right.
But then IT is not just about domestic market. Of course, the mobile operator part is maybe domestic market, but when you look at IT, lots of layers like applications, services, software, it's actually free, borderless competition. So, for example, if Netflix wants to come, they can come. Of course, people here can also access to Netflix, Amazon Prime. Then there's us, Woo, there's Univision. So there's similar products already, which is not just competing domestic, but there is some level of competition with the global players as well. So how much we think that we are not perfect is important. I believe it's important now. I'm trying to encourage our people to think that, I don't deny what you did. I don't deny your success. I don't deny today's situation, but unless you think you can do better, we will be left behind.
Ecover агаар цэвэршүүлэгч ба ариутгагчийн хослол. Том талбай зориулагдсан Ecover нь 1121 м2 хүртэл орчныг бүрэн хамарч таны ажлын байр, сургууль, худалдааны төв, эмнэлэг зэрэгт төгс тохирно. 99.9% хүртэлх PM 2.5 тоосонцор бактери, вирус болон таагүй үнэрийг устгах нь 4 төрлийн шүүлтүртэй ариутгалын дэвшилтэт технологи чимээгүй ажиллагаа таны орчныг 24/7 хамгаална. Ecover хамтдаа илүү цэвэр эрүүл орчинд амьсгалцгаая.
So like when you have a baby, you baby-proof the apartment, right? With the sharp edges and everything. How do you future-proof a tech company when the technology is changing so quickly?
I think only way is that don't lose pace. Because technology comes by itself.
Right.
It's not that you're the actual initiator of the new technology itself. Technology is coming from everywhere. Somebody comes with a new idea, then that becomes like a small startup, and they start creating big vibe, and then everybody starts using. Even probably AI started probably very small, but now AI is everywhere. So technology, as you say, suddenly comes, and we cannot control this, and we cannot predict this actually. So I think the important thing is that when it comes, it's better you are ready, but how quick can you adopt to it, and how quick can you absorb that benefit and use it? It's going to be important. So it's very difficult to actually prevent.
Right. I mean, I want to ask you about the specifics. What is your biggest fear in the regarding the future and the tech industry
in this market?
Right.
I think biggest fear is that some global giant suddenly coming in and taking over the whole market. Because
is that a possibility?
I don't know. Right now, I don't think it's possible.
Right.
But you never know.
Okay.
And because basically, especially tech companies and especially operators run based on strict rules and regulation. Means that we are following rules, but this rule applies to Mongolian companies like us and our competitors. But then people suddenly come from overseas without any regulation, and they just swipe away the market. Then okay, we're finished.
That's what happens with other fields.
Sometimes it does, yes.
Yeah. So that would be the biggest.
Probably that would. Is it likely or not is a different topic. But then, what is the most fear that can happen is probably that.
Where do you guys rank in the taxpayers list?
Taxpayers list, I think we're in the top 10 or 20.
Wow.
I think so.
Okay. And whenever I talk to business owners, just small, medium, large, everyone obviously complains about the conditions of running a business in this country. So I want to ask you about those challenges. Just, any pressure from the government, the taxes, the social insurance, and everything.
I see. Currently, I think it's okay. Yeah? So we just basically
because you guys are doing well.
maybe, but we are just basically following the rules and regulations set by the government. Of course, if the rate is lower, of course, more than happy.
Right.
But sometimes we also understand that if the tax income reduces for the state, then state budget unfortunately reduces, which means that government cannot initiate as many projects as they want, which means that they also want to improve this country. We also want to improve the country, also grow our business. So this somehow, I think it somehow needs to be balanced.
That's a quite optimistic way of thinking about our leaders.
Well, sometimes you need to believe it.
Really? I think that's a very Japanese thinking.
But Japan is also same. Japan, unfortunately, doesn't trust government.
Really?
That much. Because maybe you may not know, but Japanese voting rate is below 40%.
Oh my God, really?
People are not interested.
What?
So when I saw the Mongolian voting rate at 70%,
oh, we are very interested.
And last time it was below 70%. Wow. Then people are surprised. And for us, it's wow.
Yeah. Everyone's
so people are very interested in politics in a sense.
Yeah.
So that's very positive actually, because if the government loses interest from the public, then it's very difficult for them to motivate citizens.
How do you see this country's future in 20, 30 years?
I have to say, still positive. Of course, there are lots of difficulties. Yes, I understand. For example, I heard that sometimes young generation sometimes says, okay, they want to explore their journey not in here, but from in different countries. Of course, geopolitical, landlocked situation, so on, traffic jam and air pollution, whatever it is. But then I think these are like known issues. So if there is a known issue, I think there is a way to solve somehow. I don't know the answer, but there's a way to solve. But if it's an unknown issue, because we don't know, we cannot solve that.
Right.
So as long as that, I think, and that may be difficulty. Maybe even the government and the public is both aware at the same level. They know that this is a problem, or they want to do something. In that case, I think there's still a future, because, as I say, people are on the same table that they think that this should be changed.
Right.
Yeah. Of course, how to change, how long does it take to change is a different question. But as I say, if the issue is known, there's a way to solve.
What's your boldest prediction for future tech?
Well, I hope that there will be somewhere on the line that the world becomes like what's illustrated in like Star Wars.
Right. Do you think we'll see that in our lifetime?
No. No, but I think because see what was illustrated in like 1960s, 1950s science fiction movie, some part is actually coming reality.
Right.
So this AI stuff is also part of that. It means that it may take time, but what's illustrated actually can happen. It means that like Star Trek, Star Wars, that kind of thing. Maybe, it's going to be like robot and people are living together type of stuff.
I mean, I think about this a lot. Like if you go back to the 1950s or even the 80s and you show them the technologies that we have today, their jaws might drop.
Yeah, maybe. Yes, true. Yes.
Yeah.
No, actually, we think it's normal because we grew up along with that
Right.
development. But if you go from A point to B point, it's true. It's totally changed.
Right.
Yes.
Have you, do you go to countryside often?
Yes. Not. The definition often is difficult, but
Right.
yes, a few times a year I go because we have, as I say, we have a branch in all IMAX centers and we have staffs working there.
Oh yeah, of course.
Of course, for me also it's important to communicate with people who I don't get to interact that frequently. So that's why using that occasion, go to countryside to visit branches. So do I go to countryside for private purposes? Not really.
You don't have any relatives.
Transportation is very difficult here. But if it's business, of course, my team takes care of my transportation and all these things. So I get an opportunity. So I think compared to many of the expats, I am getting more opportunity to visit because we have business presence in all IMAX.
What's your favorite place in the countryside?
Oh, that's very difficult to answer. But most interesting thing is that going to different directions from UB, the nature is totally different.
Right.
You go to east and you see the steppe. You go to the south and you see deserts. You go to the north and you see forests. And you go to the west and you see lakes. So
Yeah.
depends on what you want to see. So, but most, how should I say, wow experience I had during my 8 years is that I went to a place, I think, Black Lake in Zaphon.
Zaphon.
Yes,
Black Lake.
I think Zaphon.
Zaphon?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
In Japan, we have lakes. We have forests. We have desert. But it's not together. But that place was the first time I saw like there's a grass field and there's a desert and there's a lake all connected, all together. So it's all in one. So wow. That was
Beautiful
very,
sight
that
to
was
see.
very unique and very I should say I was a little bit overwhelmed by that.
Right. It's such the aesthetic nature. It's a beautiful sight to see, right?
Yes. So I think, as I said, there's lots of difference. So if you like mountains, I think west side is very nice. If you really want to see that steppe and then see the sunrise and sundown with
Right.
then it's east side is very nice. If you want to be in the desert and then ride camels, and south side is nice. So I think Mongolia offers pretty much anything about nature.
Do you like to ride horses?
Yeah, not bad, but I'm sometimes scared of horses. So once they gallop, it's okay. Once they start running, it's not okay.
It's not okay.
It's okay. It's very dangerous.
Because you don't know.
I can fall anytime. So.
Right, you don't know the horse personally, right?
Yes, and that horse doesn't like me.
So speaking of which, do you spend time on trying to improve connectivity in those remote areas?
As an individual?
As a CEO, I guess.
Yes, basically, usually when I go to regions, I try to meet some local representative, either on the government level or maybe on the business layer. Then, of course, they will share what's going on in their local market. Right. So, and of course, our branch staff will also share what's going on and what their concerns are. Then from there, you get some kind of an insight of, or maybe what can be done next. So in that sense, yes, I try to maintain connectivity with the local market, local people as much as possible. Then try to solve those pain points one by one.
Because it's a very geographically challenging country.
I see. So there's lots of people that actually I've never been.
Right.
So but then sometimes you hear about it, but unless you see it, sometimes you don't really have the right image. Yeah. So in that case, if there's an issue, if there's time and opportunity, I try to go there as much as possible.
Because, like we obviously talked about the prices and the complaints. another complaint, especially when Mongolians travel to countrysides, it's from subscribers, is that there are dropped calls, slow data regarding customer service. How do you address those issues?
I think we need to keep on improving coverage.
Right.
That's the only thing we can do.
Right.
Yeah? So how to do it by ourselves? Do we use the potential power of satellite in the future? There's lots of different ways, but I think the only way to solve that is to improve coverage. But honestly speaking, this market is very tough.
Right.
Very large geographical terrain, landscape, but the population density is low.
Right. Because you don't want to, from a business standpoint, you don't want to spend too much money on, I mean, so how do you balance short-term profitability with long-term bets?
I think that part is that what you prioritize at the moment. Yeah? So sometimes you need to focus on today's improvement.
Right.
But then you cannot put everything on today's improvement, so you put some on for future development. But if you think that today's improvement is not as much necessary as you think, then you can put more attention on the future. So I think it's all about what's the most prioritized thing, but you need to do both at the same time anyway.
Right.
So we don't put coverage just because of profitability actually. Of course, profitability is one of the most important factors, because unless we don't have profit, we cannot do a future investment. Because this is how investing company works, because you invest first and you need to get return. Then you get the return so you can invest next.
Right.
So as I say, we don't just focus on that, but that's one very important aspect for us to judge, because if we just invest in non-profitable areas, then our business will start going down because we will not be able to have sustainability as a company. So we do based on probably what kind of value we can create if we improve coverage in those locations. And of course, one is that unconnected becomes connected.
Right.
But sometimes we need to also support the better accessibility of existing customers. So not as other countries, but even in Mongolia, people move around for their lifestyle. So in that case, where is a location that we better to cover in order for the customers to have maybe seamless coverage from IMAX Center to some location, maybe from Ulaanbaatar to some location.
You know, so the upcoming initiative, I personally love it. The insurance for the cancer treatments. Do you have, I mean, it doesn't have to be implemented right away, but do you have like any bold, initiative that you want to take or make, as a whole company in the future?
I think, for this time we are not the actual license owner of this business, so we are cooperating as like a
you're cooperating
platform, yeah. So and using technique,
but it's still very bold thing.
But so I think in this insurance area, I think important thing is that my just thinking is that maybe people are not really aware of insurance that much yet, which means that if we start doing this, getting involved in this industry, maybe it will increase the knowledge of people about insurance and keeping healthy and live long.
Right.
And then not just cancer, but there's other areas of life insurance that can be provided. And we are a digital company, and we can try to reach out to the customers much faster than organic analog way. So that's why we can maybe reach out and help customers to prepare for their future life much better than before. And then probably there's other areas that technology may be able to solve today's pain point, especially if some of the industry is not being able to reach out because of some constraint or restriction. As I say, digital eliminates distance, digital eliminates time, and it can connect people. So we are also looking at what are the potential next areas that IT can help to develop the industry. Because anyways, insurance business is a financial industry. Right. We are originally not from that market actually. So we are trying to use our capacity to try to contribute or cooperate to develop that other surrounding industry. So that's not just reflects to the financial market, but it can be done in other areas as well. But we are still a little bit not really clear what we can do.
I mean, do you think about maybe having a synergy with maybe banks or hospitals or pharmaceuticals and think about other areas that you could invest in and help improve people's lives?
Of course, we are basically open, and we also need to have ideas.
Right.
We need to ask their potential partners to have their ideas. Then if both sides can come up with some brilliant initiative and then we come to an agreement, I think there's always an opportunity to work on it.
We've talked about data and we've addressed the issues with it. Personally, do you believe that privacy will remain a right or will it become more of a luxury in the future? And it's not just this particular industry, in general.
I think data means information. Data is going to be maintained, I think, in the right way, I believe. Yeah? So, of course,
Protected, right.
usage of data will be much more sophisticated and enhanced. Because with data, you can do a lot of things, actually.
Right.
But right now, I think majority of the market is using data to just track customers, identify customers. Yeah? But identify customers and do what is the next stage, I think. So it will be used more, but in order to also data protection needs to be ensured. Privacy should be ensured in order for customers to feel safe. So that's why it's like chicken and eggs, but usage and this protection is going to go at the same time, and then I think somehow it's going to be managed.
You know, you've spent some time in Canada, and I've spent some time in Canada and in the United States, and one of the big debates is privacy versus freedom. You know, in America, even during the Obama administration, there was a big problem with the NSA and everything. What's, in your opinion, is a fine line between convenience and surveillance?
I think convenience is that basically you get some return or benefit. That makes it convenient. Yeah? And you're happy. Surveillance means that you are being monitored and you don't know what's going on. You don't know what's happening behind the scene. That makes you very unsecure.
Right.
So how to eliminate this unsecureness, then I think it will be more convenient. So, and also and I think another thing is that if it's for convenience, people can choose to enjoy that or not. But surveillance means that somebody in the back or center is checking everything. So what I think is important is that this is actually already starting to happen maybe in Japan. That of course, in Japan, a lot of companies try to use these kind of data to increase their business. But basically, they get permission. If the customers don't want it to be used, customers can refuse.
Right.
So this permission-based activity will, I think, help Mongolia to also manage this data security, data privacy, apart from this systematic part. And right now, maybe people are talking because they're afraid that they don't know how it's going to be used.
Right.
They may thinking that it's going to be misused and it's going to be used improperly, and that it's going to give a negative return to the citizens, which means that they are against it because it's going to give a negative impact to them. But if they think that it can give a positive impact towards me, I think this activity is not going to slow down.
You know, because in Mongolia, people have suspicions about government or maybe hackers monitoring our calls and messages. Is that technologically possible?
From my perspective, technologically, nothing is impossible. I think it's not really being done. I hope so.
Because like maybe not sustainable in the sense that you can't be monitoring 1.7 million people.
We cannot monitor.
That's no way.
Yes. And anyways, a pipe is a pipe. Yes, connectivity pipe is a pipe. So we don't intervene what's inside that pipe. So basically, we don't, as a company, we don't monitor. And sometimes when people monitor, they in service level, we inform you. For example, say somebody calls the contact center, we are recording this call in order to validate our, for example, agents' quality and so on. So it's like also permission based.
How much do you spend in your cybersecurity? Do you have a number?
Not really. We do one by one.
Oh, it depends on the talent?
No. The cybersecurity means the system enhancement. We do one by one improvement.
Oh, okay.
Talent development, basically, we use internal resources to create training material, do training activity, and also do assessment tests as well. So basically, it's very difficult to calculate exactly how much we spend because these guys are not just doing that job; they're doing other things as well. So, but I don't say it's very huge compared to the network investment. Honestly, still. Creating business is more money is used in our company, but we know that we have to pay more attention to security, even much better than even today, even if we're doing good enough, because security also is like a chicken and eggs. It just keeps on developing. New ways to manipulate, new ways to hacking is always being created, invented. So we need to also keep par with the market technology development. So we will keep on investing as long as we think it's necessary.
So speaking of talent, what do you prioritize in terms of quality of the people in your hiring process?
Okay. I'm not HR, so I know.
But you are CEO.
Yes, I delegate this recruitment process. But what I think that we are prioritizing is that, of course, your job background is one important feature because if you have experience, maybe you can jump into the position much faster. But I think more important about personality.
That's what I
honestly, person's behavior, attitude doesn't change that quickly because people grew up in different environment, they were taught different ways, and they have different values. But once you start working in a company, it's not like a startup or it's not like a freelancer that you need to work with a lot of different people. So do we have the same fundamental behavior, attitude that fits in our company expectation? I think for me, that's the most important thing. You can develop their hard skill. You can develop some of their soft skill, but basic fundamental attitude is not easy to change.
Right. Yeah, I heard a Japanese way of line of thinking is that attitude trumps talent.
I think so. And if the attitude is positive, first one, the working environment atmosphere should be positive. Yeah. If it's a positive atmosphere, then people's productivity goes positive. Then company will grow. So even somebody has a super skill, but if their attitude is bad, what I believe is, and also my shareholder's philosophy is that productivity is based on like passion multiplied by attitude multiplied by skill. Skill can go from 0 to 100. Passion can go from 0 to 100, but attitude can go plus 100 to minus 100.
Right.
So it's a multiply. So if the attitude is bad or intention is bad, regardless of passion or skill, it doesn't work. And so maybe because I grew up in that kind of a company philosophy, I have this basic fundamental. I quite agree on this. So even if you're a Superman but your behavior is bad, that Superman's talent is not going to be utilized.
Right. Do you encourage creativity in the workplace?
I try to.
Yeah. Is there anybody that comes with this great idea and then do you allow them to do it?
If it's great and of course the risk is measured and I think I can take that risk consequences, I say yes. But if I think I cannot take the risk consequences, I have to say no because I am not maybe courageous or brave enough to take that outcome. But I think creativity encouragement is very important because especially maybe in our type of company, I'm not the founder of this company. I'm not the owner of this company. It means that time to time, our management and also people changes. And of course, we want to keep on creating our value. We want to achieve our company mission. We want to keep ourselves existent. Means that we need to not just listen to the boss's instruction. Of course, boss's instruction is important, but we need people to think apart from what the boss says. And I'm not Gen Z. future of this country is Gen Z, and we need Gen Z voice as well.
Right.
Yes.
So, yeah, speaking of which, what advice would you give to a CEO of your company 20 years from now?
I think basic thing is don't try to think everything. Yes.
Is it more about the managerial skill?
Trust your people, get their voices, and then also decide what to do. But of course, you need to have your own ideas, or else people think that our CEO doesn't think and always asks. So that's also, everything actually is balance actually. But if the boss decides everything, of course, boss is a decision maker, but boss is not the dictator. So that should be separate. And tendency is that when you're busy and when you're like in a tough competition situation, because time is money and then you need to make quick decisions, sometimes you don't ask people. And now sometimes maybe even I do that. So, but still, listening to other people and getting their voices makes them more engaged, involved. So the actual outcome is much better than you saying something. So maybe my recommendation is that listen to your people, but guide them.
Right.
Yes, that's the difficult.
Are you a risk-averse person?
Not really, I think. From where I come from, but it depends on what we call risks. Nothing is actually guaranteed. So if you think it's likely to happen, then you think, and as I say, if I can take the outcome of the consequences, outcome either good or bad, then I think I can take risks. But am a heavy risk taker? No, not really.
No.
No.
Yeah. Okay. I guess we're moving on to the final part of our talk. And, I want to hear your, final thoughts on what you have to say to your customers or everybody in Mongolia now that, the 30-year anniversary is coming next year, I believe.
Yes, next
right?
March, yes.
So, yeah, what would be your words towards your customers and everybody else here in Mongolia?
First of all, I think to our customers, the first thing I have to say is thank you very much for supporting our company. Because the customers use our services and products, we can initiate new activities and we can continue our business, and we are here today. So that's what I want to say. To the people, I think the biggest thing is that Mobicom is always trying to create new things. Of course, it may not be as attractive as expected, but we are always trying to find out new ways to inspire people and also give the opportunity to make their life better and also the business grow. So, and IT should be used for that purpose. As I say, IT eliminates distance, it connects people, it eliminates time. So it's borderless because now we're connected to the whole world. So I think we want to provide that opportunity. Of course, if we can give more inspiring maybe products or business that directly attracts the customer, that's even better. But we hope that people use IT to achieve what they want to do. Yes.
Yeah. Well, this has been a wonderful interview.
Thank you
and
very
I want
much.
to show you my deepest gratitude for joining my podcast.
Thank you.
And thank you to the CEO of Mobicom on behalf of every Mongolian. I appreciate that. Every initiative from lunch program to the wash program to now the insurance on cancer. And I really, really hope that you will continue to inspire and to make this country a better place. I really appreciate that.
Thank you very much. It's my honor to be I was very lucky that I'm on this podcast for my first time in my life. And thank you for giving me your positive words. And I think it's not just me. It's all about our employees as well. I think as long as our employees also have a strong passion that they want to contribute to this country, I think Mobicom will keep on paving the road for this division. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
За, бид хоёрын ярилцлага үзсэн та бүхэндээ маш их баярлалаа. Мэдээж маш хэрэгтэй мэдээллүүдийг, мэдлгүүдийг өгсөн байх гэж бодож байна. Манай подкастыг тоож ирж байгаа маш олон энэ гоё хүмүүсийн нэг нь мэдээж ноён кожи байла. За тэгээд маш их нөлөө бүхий хүмүүс ингэж орж байгаа. Та бүгддээ ч гэсэндээ үн цэнийг бэлгэлж үн цэнтэй контентийг бүтээх гэж бас бид нэр банк хичээдэг шүү. Тэгээд төвчээртэй үзсэнд баярлалаа гэж хэлмээр байна. Сабтайтлтай та бүхэнд бас ойлгомжтой байсан байх гэж найдаж байна. За дараагийн дугаарууд угаасаа улам чанар нь өсөд улам л гоё болж байгаа. Улам супер зочид орж байгаа. Улам үнцэнтэй, улам амттай яриаг та бүхэндээ хүргэх болно. Хоёрхан зүйл хүсэж байгаа. Лайк саба дараад өгөөрэй. Хоёрт нь ноён кожи бит хоёрын ярианы бас гоё хэсгийг комментуудаар бас бичээд өгөөрэй гэж хэлмээр байна. Тэгээ спонсоруудтай бас бүгдд нь баярлалаа гэж хэлмээр байна for making this happen. Тэгээд until next time. Мэдлэгээр чигүүрлээ. Mona English Bookstore.